One of the things that kept bumping round in my head was these big events that happen. These events go all around the world all the time. Could we lean into what we do? I think the learning from Formula One is also spinning into this as well for us. It's about the communities and the fans. What do we do to make them participate? Sometimes we're just overthinking it. It was clear from the CES project that bringing the systems together was a great success. And this opened us up to thinking a bit broader around where can we really add value by bringing these systems together in the future? What are the opportunities where we can solve a really interesting potential problem? One of the things that kept bumping round in my head were these events, these big events that happen, like the Olympics or the World Cup, big sporting occasions where large infrastructure is needed. And I remember it from 2012 when we had the Olympics in England or in London. And, it was done really well, actually, in my mind. There was a lot of temporary structures used and a lot of infrastructure built. And there was a lot of consideration to the legacy. But still, we know that these events go all around the world all the time, from place to place. And London was very fortunate because it's incredibly wealthy. So it had the resource to really invest heavily. I've been thinking a lot after the CES about, could we lean into what we do and bring a solution, a package of architectural products to big sporting events, particularly, like I said, particularly the Olympics. We already have a lot of experience with Formula One, where we're doing a lot of premium hospitality, premium retail. And I think the learning from Formula One is also spinning into this as well for us. So I think that this scoping out how we create these really engaging, exciting systems to help these other events is a really big thing we're going to push. But alongside that, which I'm also really excited about, and we touched on it on a project in 2010 with Coca-Cola, we started to look at the concept of what happens if you create smaller stadiums to do events that can be set up and moved around. So sometimes there's an overbuild of stadia. Not every country needs 12 new football grounds to host the World Cup. Now, I'm not saying that Airclad, and with Airclad, we're going to build a mobile football stadium, because it could be quite cool. Maybe that is the thing. But I really like the idea of it's not about, for me, just the professional sports people and the people we go to see. It's about the communities and the fans. What do we do to make them participate? How do we make the World Cup a participate all event? So we are spectating and we take place as the spectators, but the general participation is interesting. So I love this idea. When we were doing it with Coca-Cola for the World Cup in South Africa, I was really keen. I really liked it. I was really keen on this idea that we could create mobile stadiums where you could create a touring event or a competition that goes around and lands in a place, and all of a sudden you go out and you play football and you're in this amazing mini stadium and you're the hero for the day with your mates playing football. And to prove this, years ago, I built a mini Champions League stadium, a pure inflatable one. We made that and it toured around. And actually, before I took it on tour, I sneakily took it to my children's school and blew it up in their playground. And they all played football in it. And it was mental. They were so excited, scoring a goal into the Champions League goal. So all these little 4 and 5-year-olds were having a great time. Again, for me, it's not complicated to get people excited. It's the commitment to create the product and mobilize it to these places. And I think the Olympics, the World Cup, many, many big sporting events, what do you call them, FIFA organizations, I think are missing the opportunity to actually connect and create way more energy and value with the spectators and integrate them into the event. And that, I think, will bring the engagement level through the roof, like absolutely mental level. Because, it doesn't take a lot. And I think we overcomplicate stuff. I think a lot of the times people say, oh no, and blah, blah, blah. But it's not that difficult. You know, we've all had children and they get a big present at Christmas and they throw the present away and play with the box. For me, we just need to build lots of cool little boxes, put them up around the event, and people will have fun and they will engage. They will do the bit themselves. And I think sometimes we're just overthinking it. And it's as simple as that. Like I said with the other system, just bring simple things there and make it, you know, allow it to come alive. And that's what I'm thinking now with the sports. I saw with the CES, I saw the integration of our systems. I think there's a pragmatic way that we can bring fantastic structures to these events and integrate them for the event, and the legacy is taken care of because we will reuse them afterwards. They'll always be available and reusable. But then there's this other side bit which I really get excited about, which is how we get because it's always corporate hospitality, it's always money for that, champagne and blah blah blah. How do we get the local team that wants to be a star having some fun? So I really get excited about pulling all that together, and I'm definitely going to be a big player in the future.